Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
We are now in the second online class of Gayatri Mantram with Swamiji. May I welcome everyone here. As usual, the last half hour will be set aside for question and answers. Few of us who have asked last time will first be given the chance and then the others will follow. So please do indicate on the chat if you have any questions which you would like to ask. We will begin our class with Sri Venudas singing the Gayatri Mantra. Sri Venudas.
ध्येयः सदा सवितुमण्डल मध्यवर्ती नारायणः सरसिजासन सन्निविष्टः केयूरवान् मकरकुण्डलवान् किरीटि हारी हिरण्मयवपु धृतशङ्खचक्रः ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. In our last session, we were discussing about the first part of Gayatri Mantra, that is Pranava, Omkara. Even though Omkaram is not a part of Gayatri, it cannot be a part of Gayatri. While doing Upasana, we are adding Omkara to that mantra. Pranavam is like the prana. Just like because of prana, we are living in this world. So are all mantras. With prana, they are living. So here also with pranava we are beginning. While saying this, we have to remember that there are some mantras without pranava. There are, of course, but majority of mantras which are used for upasana and which are used in homa, they will have pranava with them. But there are mantras without pranava also. But here there is pranava, and that is the first part of that mantra when we are using this Gayatri for our upasanas. In our last sitting, we have seen the words of Yogi Yajnavalkya saying Panchavasana Gayatri. Gayatri is with 5 N's. The first being pranava. Oh, nobody can explain and conclude the inner meanings of pranava. Here finished the explanation of pranava. Nobody can say so. As deeper we goes, so much more and more inner meanings we will get. That is the greatness of pranava. Remember, pranava is the essence of all the Vedas. So we are not going in detail. Just for the sake of an understanding. The discussion we had in our last sitting is enough. And if anything is to be discussed more, without hesitation, you can ask. So pranava is the essence of Veda. It is the Shabda symbolizing or representing all Shabdas we can pronounce. And the utterance, the very utterance of pranava is considered as most auspicious. And when we go into the meaning, the first meaning is pranava is Parabrahma, the ultimate reality, Sat Chitananda. And when we break pranava into A, U, and Ma, it will mean all the three principles, Tritva, like Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, and Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Anubhava. And the individuality we are having in the three distinct states, that is Jagra, Swapna, and Sushupti. My individuality being the same. I am one, there is no doubt in that. But even then, in each and every states through which I am going, I have some distinct personalities. And accordingly, I am named Vishwa, Taijasa, and Praknya in these three states. All these three and much more are meant by A, U, and M. And what remains after these three matras, that is A, U, and M, that is undefinable, that cannot be explained, that inexplicable principle, that is Paramatma. So the meaning of Pranava, if we are analyzing, there is no end for that. So keep in mind these meanings, and we can go little further into the analysis of this mantra. After Pranava comes Vyahritis. What are Vyahritis? Vyahritis are lokas, or roughly we can translate as worlds. And each and every loka is a plane of experience. Loka is a plane of experience. What we are experiencing, that is loka. Lokyate iti loka. There are innumerable lokas. We cannot count. But we can divide these lokas into three categories. One, the world we are experiencing. Then those which are below our plane of experience. And the other, the worlds which are above our experience. So the base is the world in which we are living, or the totality of experiences we are having here. That is Bhu. That is Bhumi. Bhumi is this world where we are living, and we are experiencing. The sum total of experiences we are having here, that constitute this Bhumi. And there are worlds under this, below this. They are roughly called Adholokas. And these Adholokas, there are 7 planes of experience. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, and Patala. How these worlds are, how the experiences there are, I don't know. But still we can think them to be the worlds of lower experiences. How to explain this? I don't know. Frankly, I am speaking. And there are worlds above. That means having higher experiences, higher knowledge, higher happiness. Those experiences which we are seeking here, they will be more and more there. Such worlds are higher worlds, urdhva lokas. And these urdhva lokas, they are again categorized to many, 6 in number. Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, and Satya. So these are the 6 higher planes of experiences or worlds above our Bhumi. Happiness, enjoyments, and knowledge, all these will be higher and higher in these worlds. So it is presumed. Having a basic knowledge of these 3 planes of experience, let us think. Nobody is working or striving to go down. All our endeavor in this world is to go up and up. Of course, in our life, we will have downward trends. We may fall down to the bottommost fields. It happens. But we are not striving to that, for that. All our activities, all our endeavor, they are to go to higher and higher planes. And so, in Upasana also, we are striving to go to higher and higher planes, never to lower and lower planes. Actually, the highest goal of all Upasana, or the highest aim, is to transcend all planes of experience. That is, to go above all the worlds. To transcend all lokas. And be one with the very substratum of all universal phenomena. That is the end and aim of all sadhanas. That is, transcending the worlds of experience and becoming one with the highest principle, that is the experiencer. That is the highest goal. That is above. all planes of manifestations. But still, there are many, many upasanas. And as long as we are doing upasana, that is the doer of upasana is there. He must have a highest goal. And that goal can be of different levels. Right from Bhumi, we can begin. And we can aim Bhuvaha. We can aim Suvaha. And finally, we can reach Brahmaloka, that is Satyaloka. And from there, we can transcend that also. We can become one with the ultimate reality and experience that oneness and be one above all the planes of manifestations, all lokas. But to reach all these, we have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere. From where we will start? From the plane where we are. That is the starting point. And we can reach to the highest world, that is Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. And from there we can transcend even that. We can transcend that. That is the greatness of a human being. That is the greatness of human birth. We can reach the highest and even transcend that. But from somewhere we have to begin. And that is the world where we are now. And it is invariably this earth, this bhumi. Bhavanti asmin bhutani iti bhuvanam. Where all beings are coming into existence. That is this bhumi. So in this bhumi we are. From here we have to start our inquiry, our travel, all our activities. So we are beginning with bhuhu. Bhuhu is the beginning point. There are planes of existence or experience which are lower than this bhumi, below this bhumi. But nobody is doing anything to reach a lower plane. Always our ambition is to go high and high. So we are beginning with bhumi and we are imagining the higher planes of existence, higher planes of experience, that is higher worlds, higher lokas. And They are Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, and Satya. So we can chant all these 7 Vyahritis, 7 lokas, names of 7 lokas. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Janaha, like that. Om Mahaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyaha. Like that we can chant. But normally, while doing Gayatri mantra, we are chanting only the first 3 Vyahritis. And by chanting these 3, the feeling we are having inside is that we are going up and up, reaching each planes of experience and being there, and then transcending that, and then reaching the next, being there, and then transcending that, then again to the next, like that. We are moving upward. And finally, we have to reach the highest above all these worlds, above even Satyaloka. So that must be there within. But we have to start from somewhere, and from this earth, this bhumi, we are starting, we are beginning. So we are chanting Bhuvaha and Suvaha, and of course, the worlds still above are there to reach and then to transcend. Not to reach and stay. Of course, we have to reach and we have to stay, but all these stayings are to transcend. Even by living in this world, even when we are doing all our activities, fulfilling all our responsibilities, meeting all liabilities, we have to have this within. Even this I have to transcend. That feeling must be there within. It will propel us to a higher quest. It will give a higher meaning to this life. So, therefore, we are starting from Bhuhu and Bhuvaha, Suvaha. We are chanting, thinking within the higher planes of existence or experiences, a wish to reach there, being there, and transcend, and reaching to the still higher plane. And being or becoming one with Brahma, the highest being, the first of all devatas, and then we have to transcend even that plane. So this is the the idea we must have within while chanting these three Vyahritis. Even though we are chanting these three, the higher planes must be there within our mind. And some rishis are of the opinion that even the other Vyahritis also can be included. For example, there is one mantra in the Taittiriya Upanishad. There it is said, Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha iti etaha tisraha Vyahritayah tasam u ha sma etam chaturthim mahachamasya pravedayate maha iti. Such a mantra is there in the Taittiriya Upanishad. That means Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha. These are the three Vyahritis. These are the three Vyahritis. Normally we are considering or chanting these three. But above these three, there is the fourth Vyahriti, and that was revealed to a great rishi called Mahachamasya. That is his name, Mahachamasya. He came to know about the fourth Vyahriti, and the name of that Vyahriti is Mahaha, Mahariti. Then above Maha there is Jana, there is Tapaha, there is Satyaha. In some rituals, all these are chanted. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Mahaha, Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Mahaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyaha. In many rituals, all these Vyahritis are being chanted. That we have to realize. We have to understand. But in course of Upasana, we are making use of the first three, and the meaning is from the Bhuhu we are starting, we are beginning, and through Upasana we have to reach the higher planes, and that journey to the higher planes of experience are through Bhuvaha and Suvaha. So this is the idea. This is the idea behind chanting these three Vyahritis. So while doing this mantra, while chanting this mantra, we have to keep this in mind. These three are representing higher and higher planes of experience or existence. And there is a deep yearning or a burning wish within the sadhaka to reach and transcend all planes of experience. That we have to understand. So beginning with the pranava. We are chanting these three planes of experience, and see, artha always follows shabda. That is, the meaning will invariably follow the word. Word is pregnant with the meaning. So when we chant bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, it is not a mere chanting. It is contemplating and reaching those planes. Yes. While chanting bhuhu, we are in this world. In this experience, or in this level of experience, and we are in quest of the higher planes. And therefore we are chanting the next. Invariably there also the meaning will come. So a contemplation will come. And when we are contemplating, we are reaching there. We are being one with that world. We are having that experiences. And then naturally when we are getting ourselves ready to chant the next Vyahruti, we are transcending this. If we are not transcending, then simply we are chanting. But if the meaning and the contemplation of that meaning is happening within, there is no doubt with chanting each and every Vyahruti, we will transcend this. That is the real upasana. That is the real upasana. Simple chanting won't make upasana. Tadartha bhavana. Tajjapaha tadartha bhavana. Whenever we are doing japa, that contemplation must happen. And it will happen. So, bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha. These three Vyahrutis, when we chant, when we utter, they will take us to these planes of experiences, and we are becoming one with that. And then again, we have to transcend them. And this process of transcending is to transcend all planes of experiences. That is, we have to go above even Brahmaloka. Aksharad parataha paraha. That is the real existence, absolute. Paraha, aksharaha is that which we are realizing in the Brahmaloka. Aksharaha paraha. That is the experience we are having in Brahmaloka. still higher, is para. And that is the real akshara, imperishable. And that is Paramatma or Purushottama. That is Purushottama. Is above even Brahmaloka. To reaching and realizing that is the highest goal. And for that, we have to pass through all these planes of experience. So with this thought within, let us chant Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha. Suvaha is the world of effulgence. That is the luminous world. That is the Duloka above our Bhumi and the atmosphere. That is the Devaloka. That is the Devaloka. So that luminous world, even that we have to transcend. And transcending all these worlds, what is the reality? What is the existence absolute? Or what is the highest goal? That is explained in the Gayatri mantra. And to reach that, to realize that, we are chanting Gayatri mantra. And the meaning of Gayatri mantra we will discuss in our next sitting. Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Today, we have to conclude this session 10-15 minutes earlier. I have an important meeting at 11 o'clock. So 10 minutes earlier, we can stop. So now, I think we can devote this time for question answer session.
Okay.
You can ask whatever you want.
Okay. The first question, Simana ji. Simana ji, please unmute and ask.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
This is about last class. In the last session, when you were talking about Pranavam, you mentioned that ultimately it is all about becoming silent, or it's the silence which is important. And you said to reach silence, you have to shout. I didn't understand what you meant by that.
See, the ultimate reality that is the very, very base of all, or the very substratum of all manifestations. That is above all words. Yad vacha anabhyudidam. That which cannot be explained through words. Yato vacho nivartante. From where all these words are coming back. That is the reality. So I cannot speak about that. I cannot explain that through words. So where all words disappears, no verbal gymnastics. It is the deep silence. It is the deep silence. That we cannot explain. So that is said in Maunam Chaivasmi Guhyana. The highest secret, the topmost secret is silence, and I am that. It is the unmanifest. And from that unmanifest, all these manifestations are coming. And when we consider manifestations, then we are starting with sound. The first Bhuta is Akasha, and the quality of Akasha is Shabda. So from sound, all these manifestations are coming. First manifestation being sound. And from which all these manifestations are coming, it is above that. It is above sound. It is above Akasha. It is the cause of Akasha. It is the cause of all sounds. And it is devoid of sound. And through sound, we cannot describe him or it. We cannot describe. So the ultimate reality is, there is no doubt, it is silence. So one who is established in that, one who is well established in that, he is established in silence. That is his real nature. So silence is his real nature. But common people, the common world, cannot hear that silence, read that silence. To put in more easier words, cannot understand that silence. So out of love and compassion, out of care, the same Acharya who is well established in silence, he is trying to translate that silence into language. And the first stage is like showing Chinmudra, or it can be symbol utterance of Omkara. Then comes a question. How many people can realize the inner meaning of Omkara? How many people will realize the inner sense of Chinmudra? So in that stage, Acharya is still coming down, and in that level comes Mahavakya, that is teaching the oneness of the empirical and the absolute. But how many can realize that? Only a few. Thousands and thousands of people may be teaching Mahavakyas, explaining in classrooms, writing pages and pages in their answer sheets. But the question still remains, how many will realize that? How many will realize? The answer is only a microscopic few. Then in that level, still more explanation is required. And then comes the whole literature of Vedanta, right from Upanishads, the whole of Vedanta. Then again comes the question. The same question is coming again and again. How many will realize Vedanta? Then with the help of other Shastras and Dharma, Acharya, the same Acharya, out of his compassion, love and care, is explaining the same thing through stories, through incidents happened in the life of great men, through many texts like Itihasas, Puranas and other Dharma Shastras. So the whole scripture, the whole world of scripture, it comes into existence to explain that which cannot be explained. So this is the answer. I think it is clear.
Yeah, understood, Swamiji. Yeah, I got
Namaste,
it.
namaste,
Thank you.
namaste.
Thank you so much.
Next question is from Anjali ji. Please unmute and
Thank you. Swamiji, namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
Swamiji, the last class you had explained the world is a projection of the mind. I understood that to mean that one sees the world according to one's fears, emotions, desires, feelings, experiences, etc. But I have one more question. How does this explain physical objects? And how does this explain, like the same physical object, we may perceive it differently, but the fact that there is a physical object like a tree or a car or a building, everybody sees it. How do we, is there something like a collective projection of the mind? How does one explain? Also in terms of what is said in the Bhagavad Gita, it says avyaktadini bhutani Vyaktamadhyani Bharata. So how does that explain that the world was not there, it will not be there in future, it is only there in this present time? So how does one understand this, and what sadhanas would you prescribe, what sadhanas are prescribed to get this realization?
It's a long question.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, when we are considering the worlds around us, that is the experience we are having, or to use a more apt word, the duality we are experiencing. There are two types of dualities. That is well explained in the Vedanta Shastra, and they are Isha Srishtam Dvaitam and Jiva Srishtam Dvaitam. The dualities projected by the Ishvara and the dualities which are projected by the Jivas. Both these are projections. What are they? Ikshanadi praveshanta srishtirishena kalpita jagradadi vimokshantaha samsaro jiva kalpitaha. So says Swami Vidyaranyaji in his most famous Vedanta treatise, Panchadashi. That is, Ikshanadi praveshantaha. Srishtihi. Srishtihi is creation. Creation is nothing but projection. So this creation or the projection which begins with Ikshana, and ending with the Pravesha, that is the Srishti of Ishvara. That is the Srishti of Ishvara. And what is this Ikshana and Pravesha? Ikshana is conceiving an idea. Ikshana is conceiving an idea. That is in the beginning of, in the very beginning of Kalpa. That is the beginning of the cycle of creations and dissolution. The beginning of Kalpa, that idea to create, that came to Ishvara. And from that idea, he entered into a tapas. And through tapas, the whole know-how of the creation was manifested. And from that know-how, all the bhutas, that is 5 elements, came into existence. And in the form of a chain, all these manifestations came into existence. And all the worlds and the jivas And finally, praveshanta, entering into all manifestations, entering into all manifestations up to that. The srishti or the creation is the creation of Ishvara. And so all these worlds are there. And the objects we are seeing in this world, sun, moon, earth, and all ingredients in these worlds, trees, rivers, everything, all are there. All these are in the or are parts of Isha Srishta Dvaita. And we are living in this world of multitude. And this experience. And we are creating Jagradadi Vimokshantaha, the state of waking, dream, and deep sleep. And finally, that quest to go above these three worlds. And finally, transcending these three worlds. That is creating these three worlds and transcending these three worlds. Three worlds means Jagra, Swapna, and Sushupti. Everything within that are created by or projected by Jiva. And both these are coexisting. And the phenomenon of samsara is here because of the coexistence of both these. So as long as we are part of this, Isha Srishtam Dvaitam, we are experiencing common features. We are experiencing common features. Shabda I am hearing or I am experiencing is the Shabda you are experiencing. But the world which I am creating or I am projecting, from that Shabda differs from your world you are projecting. So there is a common basis, there is a vast difference. Both these are coexisting. So as long as we are part of the Ishvara, who is Ishvara? Ishvara is the Samashti. Ishvara is the macrocosmic intelligence. And ours is individualistic intelligence. As long as these two are there, as long as we are part of this, the whole phenomena, the world will be like this around us. Mountain is a mountain, river is a river, tree is a tree. Because all these are projections of a Ishvara. That is the macrocosm. It is there. And the experience we are having from this, it differs. It differs. So all the experiences we are getting or we are having here, they are agamapayinaha, coming and going. And they differs. And the question is, What is the way to transcend this? Answer is go deep within. Vichara, the contemplation, is the only way. And realize the oneness of Ishvara and Jiva. They are not one. They are two beings. But this difference is only because of upadhis. That is the adjunct, not real. Absolute existence is above Ishvara and Jiva. And as long as Jiva is there, we have to accept Ishvara. As long as we are Jivas, we have to obey the rule of Ishvara. Because we are in the net of Ishvara, which is called Maya. But when the reality is realized, that is the existence which is making Ishvara exist, is one and the same as the existence which is making me exist. So realizing that, we will transcend these two planes of existence. Then the whole net where we were struggling, that disappears. That disappears. But even then, as long as we are in this body, as long as we are in the body, we will see the world around us as it was earlier, but we will accept it in a different way. It won't bind us. Because now it is irrelevant. World will be around us, but we will not be bound by it. So that is the answer. And as it is a very big question, the whole of Vedanta Shastra we have to take in, and we have to explain. But as this is sufficient for inner introspection and contemplation, do that, then we will realize the inner meaning. I think there are many others who are ready to ask questions and doubts.
Yes.
But we can conclude today, and in our next session we can continue, because there is an important meeting at 11 o'clock today. So today we can conclude with this and continue in our next session.
Thank you, Swami.
Namaste. Namaste. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.